done this. We've had a video about this topic before. We're going to have it again. I think now's the time to redo it. I think I'm going to start. I've said this before, and I need to get on it and start redoing some of my older videos that were good videos, good topics, had some substance to them. So we're going to start today with this one. The topic is the law-abiding gun owner. So is being a law-abiding gun owner a good thing? You would think it would be, as many of these boot-looking cowards that use this term, the shills, the gun tubers that use it all the time, constantly. I'm sorry if it's hard to hear me. I can't find my microphone. It just kind of disappeared on me. But law-abiding gun owner, what is that saying? It's a euphemism for what? Well, for somebody that's scared, for somebody that's fearful, for somebody that will do the immoral because of that fear for no other reason than they're told to. Governments become tyrannical. We know this. All governments become tyrannical. The men who created our government said that it would in fact become tyrannical on a long enough timeline. And here we are. It's been this way for a long time. People just don't want to recognize it. So, if government, which is tyrannical, creates a law, are you obligated to follow that law? And if you don't follow that law, does that somehow make you a bad person? No, I would say just the opposite. I would say that if government creates a law that's immoral, unconstitutional, or goes against natural law, which is what all of our laws are supposed to be based on in this country, that you are not only a good human being, but you're doing your duty as a human in this country. At least part of it, anyway. I'm so sick of hearing this law-abiding gun owner bullshit. It's not a great argument. It's a mundane argument. It's old. I'm sick of hearing it. Because people, especially now with what's going on with this ATF, physical praise bullshit, and this doesn't affect me, so I don't really give a fuck. I do, but I don't. I think that, you see people asking questions and you can tell where they stand. None of these large gun keepers, in my opinion, should be given any of these options that the ATF are giving. That here's what they should say. Especially like Gays and Gizmos, the ones real large channels, Go to Boy 32. It should be, the only option is to not comply. Not complying is it's kind of a coward's way out, in my opinion. I'll get to that in a second. But the only option that they should give, the only option that I suggest, this is what they should be saying, is that you do what's right. What's right. Complying with unconstitutional policy because you're told to do so is not doing what's right. Who was it that said something along the lines of the fight against tyranny is godly? I forget how it's worded. Somebody will put it in the comment section to correct me. I know. Thank you all. And remember, halfway retarded sometimes. And most of the time. I'm just so sick of hearing it. And anytime I see somebody say it, I tell them, if the men who founded this country were law-abiding gun owners, we would all have cute little British flags in our front yards right now. And no guns. So, there's that. But you can't tell the sheep anything. It's more of the same. They hear, it sounds good, so they repeat. And it catches on. It becomes the new flavor of the day. And that's what we see with this law-abiding gun ownership. It's not about safety. It's not about whether or not you follow laws. It's not about whether or not you don't follow laws. The government don't care. It's about control. Plain and simple. Control. Why do they want to regulate all these firearms? Have you really ever asked yourself that? Because it's not about safety. They know just as well as you and I do. All the gun control in the world is not going to stop evil people from doing evil shit. Look at heroin, cocaine. It's been banned, flat out banned. You can't even get a tax stamp on it since 1916. The There were more opioid overdoses in this country last year than any other year previous, where they have kept track of the numbers. Let that sink in. Do you not think government knows that? Yeah, they know it. But when you cannot defend yourself, your community cannot defend itself, your state cannot defend itself, it's easier to control you. But if you would, anytime you see somebody use this stupid, idiotic term, phrase, whatever you want to call it, I guess it would be a phrase, but it's kind of a term too. Be sure to tell them that they're a fucking idiot, and that there's no honor in being law-abiding just because you're told that you must. You know, I raise my kids to do what's right and stand their ground no matter what. No matter the consequences, do what's right. And the real problem in society today is that, when it comes to this, is that it's a nation of fucking complete, absolute cowards. Just cowards, man. Scared to fucking death. Scared to death of jail. Scared to death of death. Scared to death to lose their house, their job. They're scared. They live in fear. Why? Aren't you free? What happened to that wholesale? You know, the land of the free and home of the brave. There's no bravery in this country. There's a bunch of puppets that will sign up to do as they're told, go kill goat herders overseas, but won't stand up to the very people that order them to go kill those goat herders. It's just unreal to me. You have almost 1 million state-hired thugs now. In 2020, there were 662,000. Now there's close to 1 million. What happened to all these cops quitting and shit? It's propaganda. That's all it is propaganda. Because then they can sell you that all the good cops are quitting. And you think that you'd be a good cop. What are you going to do? You're going to go sign up to get some of that extortion money. The nice, cushy extortion checks with the nice, cushy pensions. Nobody else has a pension. 20 years ago, go look what the cops in your town made 20 years ago. Go look what they make today. In Boston, Massachusetts, I know that this is a faraway land from where I live, but the cops there starting salary, $180K a year. Why? Cincinnati, Ohio, last year, the average salary was $120,000 with overtime. Why? You can't tell me the cops do more than bridge builders do. Well, they're sorry, you just can't do it. But anyway, there's no honor in being law-abiding. It's not a good thing. You're a fucking idiot. Quit saying that stupid shit. There's 1,000 different things you could say. A moral human, how about that? Principled human, how about that? Somebody who harms nobody, how about that? When you're saying that you're a law-abiding gun owner, you're saying that it's pointless for you to have those fucking guns.